NOLA Gent here, and in this episode we're at Paradise Gardens in Summerville, Georgia. I've been here one other time in the past, and that was way back when I was in college on a road trip back in the early 90s. And I have to say, I'm a little bit antsy and I'm expecting some disappointment because some of my friends that have returned have told me that it's not what it used to be here, and a lot of the Paradise Gardens have fallen into disrepair. So I'm trying to get myself ready for a little disappointment. So let's go check it out and hope for the best. And we'll try to keep an even keel as we sail through this very long ago memory for me as we relive something I haven't done in a long time.
All I knew about this place on my last visit is it was where R.E.M. filmed their video for Radio Free Europe. So who was Howard Finster? He was born on December 2nd, 1916 and died on October 22nd in 2001. Reverend Howard Finster, a self-proclaimed man of visions. Finster was one of America's most widely known and prolific self-taught artists, producing over 46,991 pieces of art before his death in 2001. He saw himself as a sacred artist, tirelessly recording his visionary prophecies and providing glimpses of a celestial outer space world that God revealed to him. These visionary journeys were very real for Finster, providing a limitless variety of images for his creative endeavors. Born in rural Alabama in 1916, Finster went on to become a preacher, tent revivalist, and master of 22 different trades before building his roadside tribute to inventors, the Plant Farm Museum, later dubbed Paradise Garden. This rock and junk-encrusted wonderland became the focus of Finster's life work. In 1976, however, this focus shifted. As he was using his fingers to apply paint to a refurbished bicycle, Finster noticed that the paint smudge on the tip of his fingers had formed a human face. A voice spoke to him saying, "Paint sacred art." Finster began churning out thousands of sermon-laden artworks, with subjects ranging from historical characters and popular culture icons like Elvis Presley to evangelistic fantasy landscapes and futuristic cities. Most works are meticulously coded in Finster's own hand-lettered words and biblical verse. To spread his vision to a wider audience, Finster designed record album covers for rock groups such as R.E.M. and Talking Heads, later earning him Record Album Cover of the Year by Rolling Stone magazine. Interviews, films, and his famous appearance on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson further advanced his evangelical message. Finster's preaching experience and his showman-like personality helped to shape his public persona and ever-increasing celebrity. The industry surrounding Finster's name ended up defining his final years. Finster's intentions remained true to his inner voice, to make sacred art, well known and often misunderstood. His position is suspended somewhere between awe for his tireless, faith-driven creativity and his esteemed place in the pantheon of contemporary American art. He has been called both the grandfather of Southern folk art and the Andy Warhol of the South. So just starting out, I already see some damaged artwork with part of it in pieces on the ground here. On my last visit, we entered through this main house right here, and then that went back to the gift shop we could visit on our way to the tour. But there's still pieces of art all over the place here in the yard in this area. And literally, there's just thousands of pieces of Howard Finster's artwork all over the place. Just the front of the house has artwork all over it as you look at it. So there's so many things, and all of his artwork typically has lots of writing that goes along with it, and you often want to take some time to look at the messages that he has in all of his work. Well, here's the path that we're going to go on and continue on. Here's the gift shop on the right. I don't know if it's for COVID-19 or if it's their normal practice now. You can't go inside the gift shop now, unfortunately. Now here's a timeline of Howard Finster's life and works. So if you visit, you can kind of read that and see how he did different things out here at the Paradise Garden. And you can shop still if you just tell them something in the window you want, and they will bring it to you if you want to buy it. But there's so much other stuff in the gift shop. I'm disappointed I can't go in there. Then this trailer apparently is advertising a Finster Fest that they still have. I do regret not ever attending a Finster Fest or even making another visit here in so many decades. It's just an example of letting work and other things get in the way when I could have taken just a little bit of extra time when I was nearby here to make a visit. So make sure that we take time out to visit those important people and places like this that won't be around forever. So just getting into the Paradise Garden, I can see a painting here that's already faded. When I was here, this all was fresh and new looking for the most part, and everything was bright colors and vibrant. And wow, the world's folk art church is not in good shape at all. The last time I was here, you could walk all up inside it, you could go up on that tower. You can go over here to the side area. We can walk around and look inside here. It's a chicken wire train. All sorts of bits and pieces of things that Howard used to build some of his artwork. And then we can see the famous Coke right here in the back that's stored there. And you can also see it from the outside, so you can see more of it right there from different angles when you look inside the window to see different parts of this piece of artwork. And this is one of Howard's big things, is he loved Coca-Cola. And so you're not able to go further back into the church right here. You're blocked off and you can only go to this little side shed. I did see there was supposed to be a fundraiser to help restore the church, but that was several years ago, so I guess they're still trying to raise money to fix it. I hope they get that going sooner than later, because this does not look good. So as you look around, there's literally Howard Finster stuff everywhere. He's got stuff that he painted on the ground, it's on the sides, all over. There's all sorts of stuff everywhere you look. This man riding a donkey there is an example of some of Howard's more popular styles of work, as people would love to buy these standalone pieces of art. And then he had paintings and prints also. The paintings were always cheaper than those standalone pieces of art. I wish I knew what they were going to be worth one day back when I was a broke college student visiting here. All I could afford back then were the prints, but wow, those little pieces of art that stood alone were definitely available back then here. It looks like some new stuff was built back here. I don't remember this part from my last visit. But let's see, I think this is Howard Finster playing a banjo there. That's a piece of his work, it looks like. And as we look around, I do not remember this monument here, so that was something added since my last visit. So this looks like a monument to Howard Finster, and since he was still alive on my last visit, that would make sense this would be a new addition they have added. So the coffin here is where Reverend Finster wanted to have some of his ashes placed. He had requested to be cremated and have a portion of his ashes placed in this coffin, and then the rest of his ashes scattered about the Paradise Garden. But his family didn't go along with those wishes, and they just buried him on a normal burial. So the setup is still here for what he asked for, at least. Notice the Coca-Cola there. I've got a print of that myself and a t-shirt with it on it. So that's one of my favorite pieces of his art because, hey, I love a little Coca-Cola too. Now we're going to go into the rolling chair ramp gallery, which Reverend Finster had built this to let people that were wheelchair bound have access to see some things. So there's a lot of works of art by other people besides Reverend Finster that had donated the artwork or dedicated artwork to him or otherwise gave the artwork to Paradise Garden to be displayed here. And there's also Reverend Finster's artwork in here as well. So as we go through, see if you can tell which artwork is Reverend Finster's and which is not. So it looks like we have a Reverend Finster on the left, a Jesus on the right. Now, even though these look exactly like Reverend Finster's style, the Jesus has somebody else's signature. So I'm guessing those were tributes to Reverend Finster. I'll show you at the end of the video what most of Reverend Finster's artwork has on it that identifies it as his work. And underneath the ramp gallery, there are all sorts of displays with so many things on them. There's even a real dead body under here. And then just so much stuff everywhere, strewn about of all manner of things. So you can see sort of how Reverend Finster stored some of his materials that he used to construct this artwork, and some of these sheds they have right here for us to look at, and his organization structure, and then just so much artwork all over the place. A nice comfortable place to hang out with these chairs at the table there. More of a storage shed with more of the materials for his art. This section of the Paradise Garden looks the most similar to how I remembered things used to be. So all of these concrete artwork and placements couldn't be moved, so they're still here. So that's great that these things still exist. So look at the boot here. We've got a picture of Reverend Finster laying on this boot, so that's pretty cool to have that. There's just so much stuff to look at, and all of these little glass cubicles underneath the ramp.
So the last time I was here in the early 90s, this was an arch of bicycles you could actually walk through. Since then, unfortunately, this has collapsed, so there's no more walking through the pile of bicycle arch like there used to be. Now it's just a big pile of bicycles.
R.E.M. did several film shoots out here, so the bicycle arch tunnel was part of some of that work they did. I believe it's also in their Radio Free Europe video. You know, I'm actually 100% sure that it was in that video, because back in those days when I was in college, MTV actually still played music videos, and I often watched that music video. Speaking of R.E.M., we're about to see something that is pretty famous in the world of R.E.M. fandom. The Serpent in the Wilderness sculptures right here on the right. This is also known as the R.E.M. Serpent Mound, after they used it in a lot of their early promotional materials. This is certainly one of the pieces of art that I have the most vivid memory of from my previous visit. So the car here is a Cadillac that has a lot of artwork all over it. They have it covered up for some reason, and it's all blocked off. So maybe that is due to some repair work that's going on for the world's folk art church. So coming out of the Paradise Garden, it's a mixed emotional state. There is still a lot of Reverend Finster's work here. However, there is a whole lot that is gone. I read that after Reverend Finster died, the property just fell into disrepair for 10 years and people just essentially vandalized and stole a lot of things. And then a whole lot more was sold off by Reverend Finster right before he died. And then his family members sold a lot of things off. So much of the artwork has been sold off and is gone from here. Even though there's still a lot here, there's still a lot gone. Atlanta's High Museum of Art has purchased a lot of the artwork, so other than Paradise Gardens, they have the largest collection of Finster artwork in the world currently. I am seriously concerned still about the way the artwork is fading and chipping and being slowly destroyed by the elements here, so definitely things are going fast, so do make a visit as soon as possible because in 20 more years, I don't know how much will be left of this place, and that does make me feel a little old too. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm now going to show you how you can tell Reverend Finster's artwork. So most of his artwork is going to have his signature that says, "By Howard Finster from God, Man of Visions." Then it will have the ongoing count of his artwork. So on this work, which is out of my personal collection of his prints, my first art I ever bought was here at Paradise Garden. And it was a Finster print, so 10,575 works of our age at 8:48 p.m. April 11th, 1989. So that would be the date and time that he created this work of art based on his vision. And I just have a print. I don't have any originals, just prints. If I would have had a little more money in college, I would have a lot of originals though. So overall, Paradise Garden is definitely worth a visit. And you should also probably combine it with a trip to Atlanta's High Museum of Art to get the full experience that you used to be able to get here, but unfortunately, old age and deterioration have taken their toll.
Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you would just click on the little circle here with a picture of my head in there and subscribe to the NOLA Gent channel, it would really help me a lot. I really appreciate it. Thank you.